But anyway, beaten up MCC in the eliminator to get themselves promoted for this big final. So this will surely be a crucial battle between these two sides, despite of whatever happened in the previous games. A special morning and usual morning, a colourful Brighton weather as it sets up tone here at White Jersey Twin Park, Excel ground where showstoppers are going to face off Royal CC. There have been plenty of interesting stuff happen in this tournament. 7 wickets taken by a bowler who represents showstoppers against the same opposition Royal CC, and Prabhakaran's 86 for so many reasons a match to forget for them. But anyway, let's get into this big finals. But before that, it's time for national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
As everything set here at White Jersey Twin Park, Excel, both the sides were getting themselves ready for one last game in this tournament, Iron Fist season number 6. A wonderful T20 tournament happened so far in this venue, where 7 teams participated, and these are the two sides you're watching on screen. Showstoppers and Royal CC have made it to the big stages. The rest of the sides being Kingsman Cricket Club, OG Squad, Phoenix Blazers, Mighty Mavericks, and most importantly MCC, who are also a sure shot deserving sides to get into the finals. But unfortunately, the match happened. A eliminator between Royal CC and MCC went on to be a losing game for MCC, and that's how Royal CC got themselves promoted up for the finals. But when it comes to journey of Royal CC, this tournament was like a roller coaster ride for them, despite of the way how showstoppers played. They have been 6 out of 6 winning, vanishing all the opposition with clear-cut victories. Batting first in 3 matches, batting second in 3 matches, all went on to be a winning game. But whereas for Royal CC, they have won first 3 games and lost a couple of games, and then somehow managed to win in the eliminator. With the beautiful games being the match against Kingsman Cricket Club, Royal CC won the game by difference of 1 run, and on the match against MCC, Royal CC lost the game by difference of 1 run. These are the games that brought a huge difference in the points table. Even though this was like 1 run victory and 1 run losing game, doesn't make much difference with Royal CC. But the rest of the sides, like Kingsman Cricket and MCC, their position in the points table got decided by those matches. So when it comes to Royal CC, you can surely expect a drama. Sometimes a 1 run victory, sometimes a comfortable victory, and sometimes a 41 runs all out in 8 overs against showstoppers, which happened in the league phase. They will surely be remembering that. When showstoppers batted first, 173 runs they posted, and Royal CC lost their wicket for 41 runs. 7 wickets for a single bowler from showstopper sides. That's one of those memorable games in the tournament, where Sivaram Ramkumar picked up 7 wickets. Only 7 wickets by an individual bowler in this tournament. But what came as a dramatic end was the very next game. After bowling out for 41 runs, Royal CC scored 254 runs, which was the highest team total in this tournament, by losing just 2 wickets. That's a kind of journey. You cannot predict this team's performance by past records. One day they lost all their batters for 41, on the other day they scored 254. So today will be a day of questions. Is it going to be the day of 254 for them, Royal CC, or is it going to be something that's going to repeat, which happened against Showstoppers when they played in the league phase, where they lost all their batters for 41 runs? Gotta wait and watch on what's going to happen. Well, usually teams prefer to bat first on the big stages. The pressure would be completely different comparing to the league phase. That's what we've exactly seen so far in this tournament as well. We could clearly see Showstoppers are bowling first, which may not be a troublesome factor for them, as this thing have never disturbed their game flow. They won 3 games batting first, they won 3 games batting second, so have experience in both extremes. But particularly against this opposition, there comes the openers of Royal CC. We gotta speak a lot about Showstoppers, but now Royal CC are batting first in big stage like a final. Many teams in a T20 tournaments, when it comes to finals, despite of the past records, prefer to bat first. That's what we are watching on screen. A great opportunity to put the opposition under pressure, the team that have never lost a game in this tournament. But that may also lead up to something, a margin for error. You never know how things go wrong. You never know what to do when things go wrong, since you have the experience of winning matches. So Royal CC can create a huge impact by batting first, put them under pressure. Showstoppers in batting second. Let's wait and watch what's gonna happen. This usually have been a tremendous venue for all the aspects of the game. Typically Chennai used to be supporting conditions for the spinners, but that's usually in day 2 or day 3 on a red ball cricket. But for a T20 match, you can't rely on such datas. Even though this is December, a slight bit of hot conditions, not much typical Chennai weather. But once the game flows, once you hit the hard lens, the finger spinners might do well. We've seen left arm spinners consistently doing well in the old ball, even in the power play as well. Sivaram gets the ball. 7 wickets against the same opposition in the league match. That might surely give him some boost, that he had an experience of doing it in the league phase. He had an experience of beating up these batters. On the other hand, you're having K.U. Surender along with Aryan opening up the innings. By the way, Aryan is the leading run scorer of the tournament. 254 runs with an average of 50. Been performing tremendously throughout this tournament. Will surely be expected to perform at the same standards. 25 on the first game, 27 on the second game, 71 not out on the third game, 35 on the fourth game. Only the fifth game where he lost his wicket for 0 against the same opposition, Showstoppers. Then again came 62 against OG squad and 34 not out against MCC. First ball of this final, which clearly shows that this man is the key batter of the side. If he performs well, we could definitely expect some good knocks from Royal CC. This might eventually transfer to the other batters as well. On the other hand, KU Surender, 3 innings, 98 runs with a strike rate of 144. Strong shot straight away from Sivaram. Bowling those hard lengths against the new batter Sivaram Ramkumar. He is with 11 wickets, second highest wicket taker of the tournament. This was that extra bounce, you could clearly see. Surender couldn't predict the bounce perfectly. Well, that's the first runs of the bat. Gets off the mark with that single, Surender. Speaking about Sivaram Ramkumar's ability to pick wickets in this tournament, with an economy of just 5.43 in a T20 format, picked up 11 wickets so far in this tournament. Just one more required to become the leading wicket taker of the tournament. Sharing the spot with Saraj J of Kingsman Cricket Club. He is at 12 wickets. Sivaram Ramkumar 11 wickets. And there we get MD Aryan, the leading run scorer, the most dependable batter, the most expected performer to do well in this tournament. could feel positioning as well. He's having a third man in position and trying to bowl lengths that exceeds extra bounds as well. Rest of the field is standing inside the circle. You're having a third man and deep point as well. Shots coiling in mid on where the two leg side fielders, rest of the fielders standing offside, and he's not changing his line as well. This is more like a clue given to the batter, yet the batter have to be much careful on choosing the right shots. Much better one, that is much better one from Sivaram. Aiming to grab that wicket, showstoppers, trying to bring some positive change at the first couple of deliveries. Obviously Royal CC have on the toss decided to bat first. No surprise on that decision. Even if showstoppers won the toss, they could have gone on to bat first. But the lovely delivery from Sivaram Ramkumar. Well, speaking about the pressure of batting first or batting second in finals, we'll speak about that a lot in the next over. 3 for no loss after 1. Well, we've been speaking about the previous meeting between these two teams, Royal CC. When they faced against showstoppers, they have been bowled out for 41 runs, almost 120 plus runs difference victory, where showstoppers completely outplayed Royal CC batters and bowlers. 7 wickets for Shivaram. Joshua with the ball. But speaking about these past meetings and pressure on the finals, the big day will completely be different. That is one huge example of that as well. In 2017, Rising Pune Super Giants have beaten up Mumbai Indians thrice in the tournament, and they eventually went up to be the losing side against the same Mumbai Indians in the finals. Even in those 3 winnings, there have been comprehensive performance from the side, outplayed Mumbai Indians one after the other. But the end result at the final was different. It all because of the big match pressure. Even though you did well so far in the tournament, the big match will always be different. The way it runs ruins your thought process. Sometimes you start doing things more than expected. Sometimes you start overdoing things which may not get the right flow that you're expected to perform at. These are the areas where players have to control their emotions and nervous while getting into big stages. That leads 50-50 possibilities for both the sets. We cannot expect that same 2017 kind of result. It's the perspective of where Royal CC can hope for big results, with low target defense being the trend in T20 format finals. We've seen plenty of such games went on to be where batting first sides ending up to be the winning side. But again, these were all the perceptions until the records were broken. It's all about the one who handles the pressure, not overdoing anything, just sticking on to the basics and doing things rightly can make it happen. So that is a huge pressure. It's up to the way how you're going to tackle it. Whether you're going to push it away to your opposition, catches the call. But that seems to be proper placement, exceptional stroke making, that is from MD Aryan, and he's getting off the mark with that boundary as well. Tremendous stroke making, that is. Pretty much looked like a short arm jab of Shubman Gill. Stayed in the position, played it late. Look at the control. A wonderful short arm jab to get off the mark, MD Aryan. A little bit of risky stroke making, but the placement was perfect anyway. These were expected. The decisions must be taken confidently. There is a deep mid-wicket in position straight away. At the right lines here for Joshua. He's missing his lines. Well, speaking about overdoing things, similarly, the other thing that could impact both batters and bowlers or fielders in every aspect of the game, being too much conscious, being too much careful, which is not your usual game, whichever that doesn't reflect your usual game. Oh, that's a tremendous stroke making. One bounce boundary, it is over the mid-on fielder. This is power play. You will be having only two fielders outside the 30-yard circle. And this man, MD Aryan, started attacking right from the new ball. Oh, these are not the lengths meant to be played over the mid-on fielder. He had a wonderful balance with his body. The weight transfer was beautiful. This will surely be a positive sign for Royal CC. The batter who did spectacular throughout the tournament is carrying on the same form on a big stage. Good running between the wickets. Just playing sensible cricket all around, and good running between the wickets from Surendra as well. Well, speaking about big match players doing well in big stages like finals, there have always been a criticism in India. We spoke a lot about that. The 2019 World Cup, many heartbreaks happen when the most expected performer failed to perform in big stages. And obviously they have all the freedom to fail, but anyway, that's good length to end this over from Joshua. 2 wickets completed, it's 16 for no loss. Continues to bowl Sivaram Ramkumar. That's pretty good. It is consistently trying to bowl those backup length deliveries. That is the deep mid wicket in position and long on as well. 2 fielders on the onside, 2 of them at the boundary ropes. The entire offside is inside the ring. Might give some opportunities to the batter as well, but they must be pretty careful but not be over careful. Over conscious decisions might be failing when you don't put your usual efforts, when you don't play your usual game. That's what Mahendra Singh Dhoni usually says. Stick on to the basics in pressure situations. You will find a way to figure out a solution. Catches the call as that fell short of the fielder. Will surely be expected to play a longer innings. While speaking about the failures of big match players in finals, every performer have their own right to fail. You cannot expect a player to perform every game, but this is something crucial. When you start setting a standard that you perform to the maximum on a particular day, or you contribute to a maximum on a particular day, the entire team will start revolving around you, and the team never knows how to take that spot of taking up the responsibility. When you suddenly give the other player the same chance in the finals, that may be a complete collapse. It's not something they have been practicing throughout the tournament, and that's why when a big match player fails to perform, it completely collapses the batting lineup, or even in the bowling as well. So far it's been quite good performance. Joshua, despite of bowling couple of extras and conceding boundaries, the final ball seems to be the one he's looking for. Sometimes for a fast bowler or a spinner, that one ball which you feel confident might bring your rhythm back. Joshua seems he got his rhythm back in the last ball he bowled. Shivaram is already doing a wonderful job. Chance of a run out. Yes, that seems to be quite close. It's always better to run between the wickets when the ball is rolling, but here the ball is actually bouncing. where the fielder need not to bend himself down to grab the ball, gives him more time to throw the ball, which is a risky sign for batters to run between the wickets. A wonderful venue this have been, that you could see on the background as well. White jersey, Twin Park. Good stop from the fielder. And that is a chance of a overthrow as well. Gets a couple of runs on the board. But speaking about these venues, you could see the outfield here, the pitch condition. This is one of top class venues out there on the outskirts of Chennai. White jersey, Twin Park, this being the Excel, and the other one that you could clearly see at the mid-off region. Two grounds closer to each other. And that's why the standards are given to all levels of cricket in Chennai. 3 gets completed, 20 for no loss. Change of bowler here. Kishore comes into the attack. As one after the other bowlers getting shuffled. Kishore replacing Joshua. This is very much important to save wickets in the power play, where you'll avoid the early breakthroughs. Then you could eventually set up the partnership to get the scoreboard moving. Only 2 overs left for Shivaram as well. Oh, wonderful start that is. But unfortunately gets a sliced edge over there. Good bowling from Kishore. That seems to be a positive start. There have been a slight bit of movement as well. Got back to similar kind of field positionings. For MD Aryan particularly, there is a mid-wicket in deep and there is a third man as well. Riding up a slip fielder might be a good option for Kishore. There have been good movements and his choice of length have been perfect, where you will be getting more chances of getting outside edges. Slips in pace. Slips in place as well as deep mid-wicket. What would be the response of Aryan? The only thing that you have to keep in mind should be to stay in the crease for at least 15 overs. Staying and ensuring that the team posts a decent total at the end of 20 overs. As describing the par score in Twin Park Excel, it eventually depends upon the kind of opposition you're playing. Wonderful line again from Kishore. While looking at this tournament precisely, we've seen plenty of good performances, some 41 all out, some 254 runs, everything mixing up together. The highest total chased is 193. That was chased by Royal CC against Phoenix Blazers. So they have all the ability to pull things off, leading a lot of numbers. 151 is the par score here in this particular tournament. Out of 22 matches, the average first innings total is 151. So anything more than 151 could be fightable. And in big stages like finals, you can eventually reduce the numbers a little bit. Even 135s will be adding a lot of pressure while chasing. Oh, trying to go over the ball as it. Good stop, but hopefully he's alright as well. What's more surprising is this was taken by Surender, as everyone's eyes were focusing on MD Aryan. Surender is also struggling on the other end. 3 of just 12 balls, especially against Kishore. He fumbled to get runs on the board, couple of dot balls which made him to go with such decisions of attacking cricket. This time finds the timing. That's a tremendous shot and gets a first maximum of the morning as well. He was waiting for that length and Kishore bowled at the same region. This time he tried to play over the mid-off fielder. Look at the positioning. He was already waiting for that ball. And no movements required from any fielders. It is a sure shot maximum landing on the other ground. 4 gets completed, 28 for no loss. $28 for no loss. What's most important is that no loss. When you don't lose any wickets, the bowling unit which came positively on the first over, that energy might be slowly dropping down unless some of the other cricketers keep on encouraging their bowlers and fielders. Now after bowling up to 4 overs, conceding couple of boundaries, bowling couple of good deliveries, you didn't pick up any breakthrough. The first 4 overs didn't give in anything solid to you that might be pushing the bowlers under pressure. That's how partnerships will keep going. Out of that pressure, the bowlers will start doing mistakes. Naveen Kumar, the new bowler, 4th bowler from Showstoppers to bowl the 5th over. He's replacing Sivaram Ramkumar. This time no deep mid wicket, long on in position. And there is a sweeper cover as well. Long on and sweeper cover. What's going in the mind of Naveen Kumar? Can we expect something good length at the 4th stump? Oh, beautiful shot. A chance of a wicket as well. This is turning out to be dramatic performance. Good all-round cricket overall anyway. That was a surprising ball from Naveen Kumar. Obviously MD Aryan got a little bit surprised and just flicks it away where there was a fielder standing. Chance was there for run out as well. Yet it ended in favour of Royal CC. Nothing harmful happened to them. They could continue with the partnership. Much better, much better. Seems like a slow bowler, but the pace is generating when he releases the ball. Look at his arm pace. He's having a slow run up, but the pace is extreme where you have to get adapted to the situation. It's more like Dwayne Bravo, sometimes bowling into 130s and 140s. That's why he was considered to be one of the greatest T20 bowlers of all time. You never know when the slower ball coming, you never know when the quicker ball coming. Same slow run-ups. Catch is the call. Fielder under the ball, but only to stay as a spectator as it lands at the other ground one more time, goes for a maximum. Surendra started finding ways in the aerial route. Look at that shot. Just using the pace of the bowler. The wind will take care of the rest as well. Now the focus slowly shifts from Aryan to Surendra. I'll say this is a wonderful approach from Surendra. When you have such solid batters like Aryan, you need not to put run rate pressure on their heads. If they want to score a boundary, they can score a boundary. But what's most important is they have to stay till the 15th over without carrying any pressure on the shoulders. So if some of the batters take care of the run rate, Aryan could play a longer innings, steady and strong innings. which lets him to take the scoreboard deeper. Miscommunications out there. But between these two batters, the communication have been really good while running between the wickets. Never gets carried away with the boundary. After a sixer, they're slowly rotating the strike. Not getting that overconfidence, oh, I hit a sixer, I'll try one more. They never did that. Every time when they score a boundary, they precisely try to rotate the strike. Came back down to the second gear. Deep mid wicket and long on in position for MD Aryan. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he's looking for. 5 gets completed, 36 for no loss. Well, change of ends here. Straight after the hydration break. For every 5 overs, the ends will change. Let's wait and see whether this end helps the bowlers to do well or not. Sometimes when you change the ends after 5 overs, you might start seeing breakthroughs. This is applicable to both batters and bowlers as well. Sometimes one particular end will keep on fetching wickets and the other end will keep on getting runs on the board. All you have to do is to wait for the next end to come on until the 5 over gets over. You can grab maximum on the next end. That's one way of the approach as well. This might come as superstitions too. Some cricketers will believe in that as well. Okay, this end is eventually carrying wickets to the bowlers. Let's stay calm and composed. On the other end, we'll score runs on the board. Similarly, now for the bowlers, Kishore continues to bowl. They didn't had any major breakthrough so far in this innings. Change of end might help them as well. Another good running between the wickets. Not the throw that was expected. Completely out of the context from the fielder. What's most beautiful about these batters playing in the back foot is every time when there is an opportunity to cut the ball, they're not actually cutting the ball, like openly cutting the ball like Virendra Sehwag. They're just slicing it from top to bottom so that the ball eventually goes down to the ground, not in the air. There have been plenty of opportunities where the bowlers created, but the batters, they need those opportunities to lose their wickets. They didn't try to play complete cut shots. They're just actually controlling their arms. Good work from the fielder. Exceptional performance out there, saving 4 runs for his side. I think right from here, once the power play gets over, running between the wickets will be crucial for them. Every run matters a lot. The moment they start converting ones into twos, the bowlers will start feeling that pressure. It's more like straight away losing psychologically to the batter, which makes the batters to bowl wrong deliveries, unplanned ones. It's all about the mind game. The bowler will be having fresh mindset, will be having a lot of dream to perform. They'll deliver their best. When you collapse their mindset, when you prove them wrong, when you start getting runs on the board one after the other, it's not about boundaries or sixes. Just rotate the strike one after the other. The bowler eventually will come out of his comfort zone. Start bowling poor line and lengths. That's why psychology The mental stability is very important when it comes to cricket. They call it the temperament. Have been quite good with his line and length Kishore, bowling in the right regions. But this was pretty easy, or this was pretty comfortable for KU Surender. Long off in position for him. The more you bowl good length, the more comfortable he plays over the long off fielder. Where he's not completely swinging his bat to the deep mid wicket, that would be a risky choice. He's just swinging his bat where the middle of the blade gets a timing of the pace, and that could eventually travel a lot more distance at the long off. A little bit unusual as well. Extras have also been contributing a lot to this innings. That may also release the batters from pressure. Every time when you're facing dot ball pressure, there have been an extra following, which eventually compensate the dot ball, leaving more confident space for the batters as well. So far, 9 runs extras with 8 wides and 1 byes. We're just within the power play. Wonderful delivery that is from Kishore. Front or back confusion. If it pushes the batters onto the back foot, they're trying to play it onto the ground as a cheeky single. If it's inviting them onto the front foot, specifically Surender is trying to find the aerial route. So if you want to make the batters to be defensive, you have to bowl back of length or short ball, especially for Surender. So far we didn't see much of impactful strokes against such lengths from him. Strong shouts from the wicket keeper. That seems to be getting the bat, the toe end of the bat. Surprising delivery this is from Kishore. We didn't see much of Yorkers coming around, despite of the batters getting comfortable and scoring runs on the board, expecting either it could be a good length delivery outside the off stump or maybe a back of length delivery outside the off stump, inviting you to cut the shot. But we didn't see much of bowlers trying to invade the stumps. That's something might be very helpful for them to pick wickets as well. Oh, this time cuts the ball, and the timing seems to be perfect as the deep point fielder had no chance to stop that going for boundary. For the first time you're watching such lengths being punished comfortably. 6 gets completed. That's end of power play. 47 for no loss. Look at his bottom hand, letting the ball to come, plays it as late as possible. Typical cut shot. A beautiful stroke to watch out for as well. Surender seems to be unstoppable. 47 for no loss after 6. This was the shot we've been speaking about. Not an easy one, and not everyone's cup of tea. Letting the ball to come in, cutting at the right point of time by extending your bottom hand. Would surely be improving his confidence for Surender. Sometimes this acts as two-way reaction. In one way, the batter feels like he got settled and he'll be trying to get the innings going, convert this 23 into the 40, into the 50, into the 60. Sometimes the batters feel satisfied. When you start feeling satisfied, you feel your job is already done, and then you'll start taking half measures, greedy approaches where the batter might be losing his wicket. Seems the time for the spinners, time for some revolution as well. This might bring some impact as well in the game. Akash with the ball. Seems to be pretty rhythmic one from Akash. Long off in position, sweeper cover, Deep square leg, deep mid wicket and long on. Typical T20 field positioning for an off spinner. Much better one. He understood his role perfectly, MD Aryan. The show is now with KU Surender. He can just stand simply at the non-striker's end and watch the show. The battle between Surender and the bowlers of Royal CC. A proper way of batting display here from Royal CC, showing some positive cricket around. Flat and quicker one from Akash. If he's having such flat deliveries, he could have invited in the power play as well. With the new ball skidding onto the batters, there may have been a lot of opportunities for LBWs. Strong shouts. Seems like we heard two sounds, with bat first and then it hits the pads. But the on-field umpire says it's leg byes. So this may be missing down the leg. The umpire will be getting the better view of it. That's 50 plus partnership between Surender and Aryan. 23 runs from Surender and 16 runs from Aryan. Wonderful balance, wonderful partnership. This time seems to be a close call, but couldn't convince the on-field umpire. There may be something that stopped the on-field umpire from giving this decision. Just taking back a look at that one, flat delivery. Hitting at the back foot. Maybe the height factor, or maybe it might be missing down the leg on the straight angle. But one thing is pretty much sure, that spinners are actually pressurizing the batters comparing to the fast bowlers. This could be better if they have a left arm spinner. They could eventually use them against these two batters. This time goes over the aerial route and finds a distance as well. A slight bit of change in line where it's not invading the stumps. Eventually Surender got his rhythm. Third sixer for him, 57 for no loss, that is. Look at that. Another quicker one. He was expecting that. What gave him the freedom is the line. Even if you miss, it's not going to hit the stumps. Now the breakthrough becomes mandatory for showstoppers. Things have begun well. The power play happened really well for Royal CC. So far no signs of good breath. A relaxed breath for showstoppers. They're still seeking for that one breakthrough that could eventually bring them into the game. Vikram Raj, the new bowler, straight away starts off with a good delivery. MD Aryan feels a bit struggled to play those from the spinners. 2 is the call from the batter. As they're running back for the second run as well. Good running between the wickets from Surender. Strong shouts again. Couldn't convince the on-field umpire. Calling for LBW is also an art where you have to shout like something that has some confidence in your shout. Might sometimes convince the on-field umpire, but this seems to be having a pretty clear view for the on-field umpire. That's missing down the leg. And that's why being an umpire is a very difficult job in cricket. You have to give precise decisions, but you don't have much time to give that decision. A group of men shouting in front of you, watching your reactions, watching your fingers, and you have to give a proper decision. That's very challenging. Much better one. The more you attack the stump line, the more respect will be from Surendra. Even on the sixth scored by him on the last ball of the previous over, where the bowler was trying to bowl on the fifth stump line, which he was not trying in his previous deliveries. These were loopholes that the bowlers must try to use when you invade the stumps by bowling a good length delivery. Surendra is also respecting that as well. 8 gets completed, 61 for no loss. Continues to bowl Akash. Flighted delivery. Got something that he was expecting for. Surendra is trying to overhit the ball. When you change the pace, when you bowl it a little slower through the air, there may be a lot of possibilities. But I love the shot selection of Surendra. He's trying to play as straight as possible. The more you choose to play straight, you can play safer shots. Much better, much better. Akash is bowling actually well, except that one sixer. He bowled a tremendous over, and this one as well. One flighted delivery and the other quicker one. Must be making sure that it is invading the stumps. The moment you start bowling outside the off stump, Surendra will pick it up. This is interesting. He's opening up his left leg but couldn't go for the shot, as he knows if he missed it, it may hit the stumps or it may be a wicket delivery. Couple of dot balls adding up a little bit of pressure to Surendra. This pressure have actually brought the first sixer of the morning when Surendra was batting. Can this be leading up to a wicket? Much better one this time, rotating the strike when things are not going well. I think this is very important as a partner. When things are not going well, when your particular batter is under pressure or maybe against one particular bowler, the partner should speak up to him, trying to rotate the strike as good as possible. These were areas where two batters can build a good relationship in the partnership. As you're facing 11 men versus 2 men, beautiful shot, that is one for boundary. Could see no movements from the fielder, nobody was moving for that, as this was a perfect placement onto the gaps, onto the back foot. Every over gets a good start, ends in a way it concedes a boundary or a sixer. This one more time, he bowled it outside the off stump. That's more than enough. Look at the fielders, nobody was moving for that. 9 gets completed, 67 for no loss. Continues out to bowl Vikram Raj. That was a tremendous shot in the last ball of the previous over. Cutting again such a quick delivery will never be an easy one, as Surendra is very good at playing those cut shots. He's very quick with his hands. Even though the reaction time is very low, you just cut it away properly. This time through the covers as long off chases down. Ends up to be just a single. As things are quite good and under control as well. Now from here, maybe the next 2 to 3 overs will be crucial for the batting unit, where they shouldn't lose much wickets. If one falls, the other will follow, as middle overs were meant to lose wickets. That's why the bowling unit will try as well. It's better you can compromise on the run rate but not to lose much wickets in the middle overs. And once you cross 14th over, you can start lifting up the gears. There is a bright possibilities of 140s or 150s, which might be a fighting total. One more time, an intention to cut the ball away, as that seems to be quite challenging for the batter to slice it. These are two different bowlers, as Vikram Raj is slightly a bit quicker, that it doesn't give much room for the batters to cut it away. Much better one, that is much better one. This is clear that when you stick on to the basics, a good length onto the stump line, waiting for the batters to make mistakes, there comes the respect for the good ball. This time pulls it away, as it gave him a lot more time to pull the ball. Another over ends in a fashion of boundary. Good over, but the last ball decided its fate. 75 for no loss halfway through the first innings. This was that shot we've been speaking about. Flatter one had a little bit of chance, that more than enough for Surendra to score a boundary. He's into the 40s as well. That's 75 for no loss, and a small hydration break here. Straight after the hydration break. Catches the call. Oh, that's a very good try from the fielder. But eventually that went on to be one more opportunity missed down. This is very challenging. Praveen came into the bowling straight after the hydration break. They might be reassuring the game plan, refining it to the way how the game is going. Everything was perfect until this went out of his hands. He landed himself perfectly, but unfortunately it didn't end up to be the catch. This is much more important. They must have had a left arm spinner as two right-handed batters batting together. Even though the off-spinner is doing well, it's not adding up much pressure for the batters to lose the wickets as they're playing conscious cricket, choosing the last ball of the over to score boundary. A leggy will bring a different change altogether. Catches the call, but there wasn't much change as I've expected as it goes for the first maximum of MD Aryan. After some 6 to 7 overs, we're watching MD Aryan back on action on the same region where he scored his first boundary. An overflighted delivery went on to be a full toss, got its punishment. Now there are bright chances of this converting out to be 150 or more, unless they didn't lose much wickets. As there'll be a lot of batters waiting on the dugout as well. This was a very good start. For them as well, as they were asking the on-field umpire for the decision. They had some sound since the umpire was giving that wide. There we could see it may have hit the batter, as the on-field umpire is having some words with the leg umpire before reversing the decision. This time it will be given wide anyway. I think this is something that's actually impacting the game. Even though if there is a dot ball pressure, that is turning out to be extras where the batters feel relieved and they continue scoring runs on the board. Showstoppers, an unbeaten side so far in the tournament. Can they continue the journey of being an unbeaten side to lift the trophy? So far it's been challenging signs for them. The first 10 overs dominated by the batters. Adding one more to that, as it goes for one bounce boundary through the covers. Surender is almost marching towards his half century, and he's actually having a cramp, it seems, on his left leg. This is very difficult. You must be hydrated. The pre-match preparations will be really helpful. Even though if that happens, sometimes things might go out of your control. There you could see that boundary. This is mainly because he's someone who's actually transferring the weight really well, especially onto the back foot. Even with this shot, the weight transfer was mostly onto the back foot. This sometimes leading up to a cramp or feeling a little uncomfortable. Reassuring the game plan in the middle as well. This usually happens sometimes. Even though if you follow the proper routine, you may not know what exactly happens. So it doesn't seem to be a cramp. Dizziness, it seems. He just wanted a little bit of hydration to reassure his energy. Fine, is back. Surender is okay and will be continuing out to bat, as it's Very important for him to carry on his batting. While on the other hand, the entire match was almost a sign of disappointment for showstoppers that what they exactly expected while beginning this innings haven't happened. Toss didn't went on their favour. They lost the toss, invited to bowl first. And right from them, things didn't went well as of expected. They bowled a couple of times in the tournament as well. Against MCC, they bowled out MCC for 110 runs in 17 overs. Against Mighty Mavericks, they stopped Mighty Mavericks for 114 runs. And the other game against Kingsman Cricket Club, they have stopped the batters for 111 by dismissing all the batters for 111. So the maximum runs they have conceded while bowling first is 114. But today it's a completely different game of cricket which they haven't expected. They have never conceded 120 runs in this tournament while bowling first. But today it seems the records might be broken. The same team that lost all their batters for 41 runs against this opposition is now 90 for no loss. A completely different story from Royal CC, playing conscious cricket, having won the toss, deciding to bat first, taking right decisions to keep the impact on a big match. 15 so far in this over. Continues out to bat Surendra. 45 not out of 36 balls. Dot ball to end the over. That's pretty much expensive over. 90 for no loss after 11. $90 for no loss. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection. Vikram Raj back into the attack. As both the ends didn't end up in favor of showstoppers. They have tried a few game plans, they have tried a few spinners. This now becomes a desperate intent to get the breakthrough, which might not extract the actual gaming style of these bowlers, actual way of approaching the game. There will be a constant pressure to break the partnership. There will be a constant pressure to get that first wicket where you can never apply your natural game. That's something called as pressure. That's something called as psychological attack that these two batters did against the showstoppers bowlers. They were typically good bowlers on the other day, but today's scenario was completely different for them, where they have to rush to get that first wicket or to stop the batters from moving. Top quality cricket here from Royal CC. Turning out to be a pretty decent over. The most important target for showstoppers would be to bowl a over without extra. Maybe that something brings a discipline onto the game. When you stop bowling extras, you might not be conceding a lot of runs. You might be having a lot of confidence after dot balls. Now this over, exactly 3 runs, no extras with 2 dot balls. Catches the call. Oh, that's a dropped opportunity. Not an easy one, but should be taken at this level of cricket. Goes for a maximum. And that's 50 up for Surendra as well. 52 of 40 runs, 4 boundaries, 4 sixes. On a big stage, as an opener, Surendra stood up for his side. Good shot, but got the elevation. It was flat so that the fielder could have reached the landing area. Tremendous batting that is from Surender. As an opener on a big stage, it's pretty important for such batters to take up the responsibility. He took up the responsibility, played a wonderful knock, eventually taken care of the run rate and taken care of the strike rate of MD Aryan as well. No pressure on the rest of the batters, no pressure on Aryan, only because of this knock from Surender, where he risked his wicket to score a couple of sixers, even though he was not feeling well today, looking a little tired. "12 overs, 99 for no loss. A bright possibilities of 170 to 180, more than the past score in this tournament." Now, what would be most confusing thing is for showstoppers, whom will you choose to bowl? You tried all your weapons, you tried all your key bowlers, the mainstream bowlers, the secondary bowlers. Everyone got the same treatment. There is no other way than shuffling all the bowlers one more time. Rewriting the game plan might work. Sometimes when you bring in such part-timers, there were times when Mahendra Singh Dhoni used Suresh Raina, Saurav Ganguly used Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag as well. So these kind of part-timers sometimes bring in a different angle altogether. The practice that the batters had against the mainstream bowlers, the secondary bowlers, will not be the same with the newbie. That's team 100 for Royal CC, 100 for no loss. A bright confidence start. That's what I mentioned when the innings began. Royal CC had both the extremes, losing all the batters to 41 to scoring at 254. It's about which day it is. It seems 254 day. Even though we may not expect 254, but this is a wonderful batting against such a solid side like showstoppers. Well, speaking about shuffling the bowlers, the part-timers or the unexpected bowler with an unexpected bowling style with very basic bowling actions sometimes bring a difference. Oh, that's more like a releasing angle of Lasith Malinga. But missing down the leg, he didn't even appeal for that. Naveen Kumar. They almost tried all their weapons. Showstoppers, one after the other. We've seen the bowlers coming around, the off spinners, leg spinners, medium pacers, with the way how Naveen Kumar is bowling as well. So for 7 bowlers bowled today, a juicy one through the covers from MD Aryan. 2 is the call. They'll be satisfied with a single as well. Sivaram Ramkumar bowled the first couple of overs, did really well with an economical spell. 2 overs, 7 for 0. From then on, we started seeing Joshua, Kishore, Naveen Kumar, Akash Vikamraj, and the captain himself conceded 15 runs. Except the wicketkeeper, there may be 3 more options they could try if they have the part-time ability. This is also turning out to be a good over. I don't exactly remember where things are going wrong for showstoppers. Even in this over, you could clearly see 1-0, 1-1-0, where the bowler is actually dominating the over. It's that last ball where actually the context is changing, where Surender have scored a couple of boundaries on the last ball of an over. A good start and a poor end for the bowlers. Another one on the list this time. A cheeky attempt that earns a boundary for him, Surender. A paddle sweep to get the boundary. In fact, it's more like a scoop shot. One more time, the last ball of a good over went on to be boundary, turning that out to be an average over. He was clearly expecting that to be a Yorker. Exceptional performance. He was already in the position before the ball being delivered. I'm really enjoying this brand of cricket from Surender. He's thinking every single time. He's good at cutting the ball. He's good at pulling the ball over the bowler's head, long off, now at the fine leg. That's complete package of an innings to watch out for from Surender. Once he get back home, he can clearly watch this innings. He might be feeling satisfied that he played every shot today. From third man to fine leg, an entire circle, everywhere he had scored runs on the board. Put the opposition under pressure, especially on a big day like a final. That shows the composure of a cricketer. Also, you could see him on the non-strikers and he was unwell. To be very honest, he's not that energetic today. Something is unusual with him, yet he is trying to fight. Swing and a miss. One more time. Now the good over begins. It's all about the last ball of that over. That's what we've particularly seen. On the 13th over, the last ball went for boundary. On the 12th over, the last ball went for sixer. On the 11th over, the 5th ball went for a boundary. On the 10th over, the last ball went for the boundary. 9th over, the last ball went for the boundary. You could clearly see this pattern once the power play got completed. Even though the first 5 balls have been dominated by the bowler, somewhere economical, the last ball completely changes the context of that over, which makes them to open the next over freshly without pressure. Usually I've seen the batters trying to attack the first 1 or 2 balls of the over, and then they'll be rotating the strike, ensuring they'll be scoring a lot of runs on the board. But this is a completely different approach from Surendra, where he is letting the bowlers to do well in the first 4 to 5 balls, and finally he's attacking. Bowling his third over, Kishore, with an economy of 9.43. Not much good day at work for him with the ball. Pulls it away. No man standing in the deep. As that goes for the 1 bounce boundary. Beautiful stroke making. More like an invitation from Kishore, in fact. When you have your square leg inside the circle, you can never have the freedom of bowling onto the body line. Look at that shot. Letting the ball to come onto the body and just places it to the deep square leg region where nobody is standing at the deep. Exceptional stroke making from MD Aryan, who is also marching towards his well-deserved half century on a big stage. Speaking about MD Aryan's performance in this tournament, he was already the leading run scorer before this game began. Now this adds 39 more runs to the leaderboard. Through the covers. Not much better connection, but somehow manages to get some runs on the board. Good stop from the fielder. That meant to be an easy stop. He somehow fought with the ball. Eventually stops, getting a couple of runs on the board. Moves into the 40s as well, MD Aryan. Speaking about his performances so far, 25, 27, 71 not out, 35, 0, 62 and 34. Except that one game against Showstoppers where he lost his wicket for 0. His lowest score in this tournament is 25. Highest is 71 not out. 2 half centuries so far. Exceptional performance. What's beautifying all these things is the performance that he is showing in today's final. Already at 10 runs over this is. With one more time, Surendra got back on strike for the last ball of an over. This over was already expensive. It's 10 runs. Even if it goes for boundary, it may be too expensive. Strong shouts. Couldn't convince the on-field umpire as well. The dot ball to end the over. Good one from Kishore. That's 116 for no loss. Back into the attack, Sivaram Ramkumar, the key bowler, one of the leading wicket takers of the tournament, must take up the responsibility. Big shot, catch was the call. And that beats a fielder comfortably for a maximum. Moves into the 48, MD Aryan. He is now taking up the responsibility as Surinder is not feeling well. Yet he is on the crease anyway. Fuller length outside the off stump. In fact, more of a good length outside the off stump, where the fielder had no chance to grab the catch. Now this is really turning out to be an interesting stuff, where the first ball gets punished for a maximum. Even 4 singles in this over convert this over into a 10 runs over. That's how the last couple of overs will be treated. They're almost entering into the death overs with having all the batters as resource. Nothing is lost. Even if something goes out of their control, there are plenty of batters waiting outside to carry on this innings to big stages. I think that's the freedom that got him to go with such shots. Even though there was long on in position, it was a little bit risky. His job was almost done. At the beginning I mentioned that Aryan should try to play 15 overs. It's almost the 15th over. The team is in comfortable position as well, where they could eventually drive this game to 160s and 180s. Much better one from Sivaram Ramkumar. Now this is going to be an interesting battle, where the leading run scorer at the strike and second leading wicket taker with the ball. Both the teams need that supports. Almost Aryan did his job, but for Sivaram, his team needs his supports to break the partnership. Another good shot. Seems like a good sound this time. Dropped opportunity. Could you believe this? That didn't have any challenges. That was an easy sitter. Must be taken at this level of cricket. But anyway, brings up half century here for Aryan. With that maximum, he's moving on to 54 of just 41 balls. This was that shot. The sound was pretty good. It seems it hit the toes of the bat. That's why it didn't got the distance it requires. That must be taken. That must be taken. He couldn't believe he dropped a catch, but he dropped the catch of a set batter, the one who scored a half century. Now that's turning out to be slightly bit pressure. Sivaram Ramkumar tried his best to break the partnership. The support wasn't there from the fielding unit. That might be short signs of disappointment for any bowler. What else a bowler needs to do? He created a huge opportunity for a wicket, but unfortunately things went out of control. That may be a hydration break after this over, where they must discuss, they must speak what needs to be done, where this innings is heading to. They should try to stop them under 170 or under 160. With this situation, they could eventually easily go past 170. Now that again brings Surinder back on strike for the last ball of an over. This is already a 14 runs over, doesn't require a boundary. But anyway, let's wait and watch. Last ball of this over. Goes over the bowler's head. Chance of a 2. Another misfield as it goes for boundary. Seems he lost his confidence after the catch was dropped. Boundary to end the over. That's 134 for no loss. This was the shot. Not much better connection. One more time. It was in control, but he was a little bit nervous. What if I miss it again? Mindset will eventually make it happen. 134 for no loss and a hydration break. The batter have to be much careful on choosing the right shots. Just heading back to whatever happened in this innings. Much better one from Sivaram. So there is a huge pressure. It's up to the way how you're going to tackle it. Whether you're going to push it away to your opposition. Catches the call. But that seems to be proper placement. Exceptional stroke making, that is with a short arm jab. Whichever that initially reflect your usual game. Oh, that's of scoring boundaries and sixes. But eventually Surinder started taking control after that 1/6 over the mid-off fielder. He was like some 10 balls, 3 runs, 12 balls, 3 runs. In fact, you're watching on screen. From this situation, this shot defined this innings, and from then on, it was sparkling boundaries and sixers from him, Surendra, where MD Aryan stayed on the non-strikers end to watch all these crackers on the sky, finding the aerial routes one after the other. He tried every bowlers, spinners and fast bowlers. These were cut shots we've been speaking about as well. He was very good at his back foot and bottom hand, where he's swinging the ball with no reaction time. In fact, one more cut shot we've seen for Surendra as well. As you've seen, strong shots went on to be, in fact, not given. From then on, spinners started lining up the off spinners initially, but no mercies from his side. He went over the fielder one more time. This is where this culture of scoring boundary on the last ball of an over started from Surendra. Every over the bowler started doing well, but eventually the last over went out of their control. A few appeals were not given. Seems like it was missing down the leg as well. You're watching one more time the last ball. This was a wonderful cut shot from Surendra, where everyone got impressed with the way how, with such short reaction time, he sliced it to the point direction. And these shots, those pull shots and cheeky paddle sweeps one after the other, made sure that he is one among the tremendous batters out there in the setup. Now, straight after the hydration break, 134 for no loss. Vikram Raj back into the attack. 3 overs, 21 for 0. Bowled really well so far in this innings. Vikram Raj went quite closer to pick wickets. I also see some struggle from MD Aryan when it is good length onto the stump line. That's quite good, as things were under control for them. The projected score shows 179. There is a bright possibility of them scoring way more than that. This is surely going to be an interesting T20 contest to watch out for, despite of whatever happened in the past so far in this tournament. The track records are not saving anything for the future. Beautiful shot, one more time onto the back foot. This time more like a back foot punch, but only this man could do this. This may look like an easy shot, but this is not at all an easy one, and this is not everyone's cup of tea as well. Look at that shot onto the back foot, just slicing his bat. Quick hands he's having anyway. Completely outplayed the showstoppers bowlers. We cannot come for the verdict of this game, as showstoppers batters might also be having something to say. Another beautiful shot, a paddle sweep this time, and the outfield does the rest. Goes for boundary, back-to-back boundaries here. He's precisely reading the mind of the bowler. This will come next. I'll prepare for this shot. Look at him. He was already prepared for a paddle sweep and just guides the ball to the direction where the outfield is taking care of the rest. This venue is having a wonderful outfield, a properly maintained ground from white jersey. Pulls it away, catches the call, fielder under the ball, and finally it's taken. The story of Surendra is coming to an end. No mistakes done by the fielder, as Vikram Raj gets his first wicket. That's a first breakthrough for showstoppers as well. There you could see the pull shot didn't got much connection. It was just high in the air, not with the distance, and no mistakes done by the fielder. Huge sign of relief here for showstoppers while they're entering into the death overs. That's 143 for 1. That was a wonderful innings from Surendra. Took up the responsibility right from the beginning of the power play. Made sure that his team performs well in such high standards. Surendra gets a round of applause on the dugouts for his tremendous 65 runs. It's actually ensuring that this team is doing really well today. 69 runs in fact of 50 balls, 8 boundaries and 4 sixers. Salute his performance. As that brings Eril Sethu, the new batter, comes in at number 3. All you have to do is to come into the crease, adapt to the situations as early as possible, as the death overs have already started. Imagine the way how Hardik Pandya played yesterday. Right from the first ball, he went for big shots. Sometimes when you are in a good flow, you have to do what your mind says. Need not to be following the grammars perfectly, need not to be following the norms perfectly. There wasn't any rule that you have to start slowly. Gets off the mark with that single, he'll say too. That brings Aryan on strike back. Catches the call. A one-hand approach from the covers fielder gives another opportunity for MD Aryan. There have been plenty of dropped opportunities, especially for this batter. One dropped at the long on was an easy sitter, but this may be a little bit difficult, but still it has a lot of opportunity for the covers fielder. He need not to move anywhere. Stand and grab the catch opportunity. 146 for 1, that is. Releasing over there, he'll say too. Sometimes when a new batter in, you can reassess things, you can come back stronger. Sometimes things collapse the flow on which the batters were going in the previous partnership. Strong shouts as it's skidding onto the batter. Catches the call, and that eventually turns out to be one more boundary as well. MD Aryan continues the innings where Surendra left it, adding up one more onto his name. That brings 150 up here for Royal CZ as well. Full of positive cricket right from the beginning, which ensured that they were actually taking care on what needs to be done. Big shot again. Fielder in position. And that eventually turns out to be one more. That's back to back as well. One more boundary, that is. It's almost got closer to the long on fielder, as it eventually turns out to be sixer. In fact, that's no ball sixer. Free hit will be given. Exceptional bowling, that is. The bowler survives the free hit somehow, but this is already a costly over. Even though they lost, Surendra seems doesn't have much impact on the game. That Aryan is continuing where Surendra left this innings. This is where partnerships will lead up to. When you have two set batters, even one lost, the other will carry on. To the covers. As things were quite good under control. Oh, this is really interesting. A full toss delivery missed out by the batter. That's what happens when you're new to the crease. You cannot blame the new batters to straight away bat like a set batter. But that's what the role demands. As a number 3 batter, you never know when you get your position. There'll be different scenarios altogether. You'll usually have the ability to go for the big shots, but this was something surprising. There you could see bottom hand coming on to domination. 2 is the call from Ariel. That's good stop from the fielder. Will be just a single. 160 for 1 after 17. Back into the attack, Naveen Kumar. 2 overs, 14 for 0. Oh, beautiful shot that is. Where there is no man standing in the deep as well. Then the release point of Naveen Kumar will be a little bit challenging and tricky. Where Ariel watched the ball cleanly and decided where he's targeting. Look at that. This is very much important. That's why you have to watch the ball precisely. The head position matters a lot. This kind of tricky action sometimes pushes the bowler batters to get struggled. Exceptional stroke making from Ariel. Now straight away there are 2 fielders at sweeper cover. One standing squarer and the other standing straighter. Big shot! And that is taken by the fielder. Adi, the fielder at long off, is finally bringing an end card to the cameo played by Ariel. Was a very good intent, to be very honest, but eventually didn't got the connection that he is looking for. As Naveen Kumar got his first wicket. Good delivery, in fact. It's pretty close to the batter where he didn't got elevation to go for big shots as well. That second wicket falling down. 164 for 2. Ariel walks back to the pavilion. CR Suresh, the new batter, comes in at number 4. Strong shouts and the fingers going up straight away. That's back-to-back wickets from Naveen Kumar. Final phase of this innings where the bowlers were trying to get into the game. The new batters couldn't get the same rhythm as the old batters had. There you could see CR Suresh didn't expected that invading the stumps. He's very good at nailing those yakos, Naveen Kumar. This is a gifted skill or learned skill. Whatever, this is really good to watch out for from Naveen Kumar. 164 for 3 it is. CR Suresh walks back to the pavilion without scoring. There you go, the new batter Madan Shaktivel comes in at number 5. Good numbers in Cricket Heroes. And as a number 5 batter, he may be well equipped to bat at these kind of situations. All they need is one batter taking up that impact of scoring runs on the board, maximizing numbers. There is still a possibility of 200. Or if that's not happening, it's better to rotate the strike and giving back to MD Aryan, who's already in good form. He knows the flow of the other bowlers as well. It's not about one batter couldn't do. It's about the day that particularly where the particular batter needs some confidence to get himself set. If that's not happening, always better to give the strike back to said batter. But we gotta wait and watch what Madan Shaktivel is gonna say with this bat. On a hat-trick anyway, Naveen Kumar. No special field positioning for that. Maybe trying and Yorker will be a solution. Oh, beautiful wrist work over there from Madan Shaktivel. Just glides the ball to the final leg region. Gets off the mark with a couple of runs on the board as well. Full of positivity coming into play. Wrist work is something that typically Indians and Sri Lankans use it to do. Flicking it, those leg glances. Sometimes these shots can earn a lot of runs against bowlers like Malinga. So far 7 runs coming off this over and 2 wickets as well. With MD Aryan back on strike after a long time. Can he pull things off in increasing numbers? The projected score now shows 187. Seems there may be opportunity for more than that. Big shot, catches the call. Long on in position, but he'll be standing only as a spectator watching that sixer going over the boundary ropes. 6 to end the over, that's maximum, as Aryan moves to 75 as well. It's 18 overs, 173 for 3. This was that shot. Unusual length, in fact. He was not bowling this length so far in this over. But Aryan was well prepared for everything. 173 for 3 it is. Shivaram Ramkumar back into the attack. Starts off with a Yorker, which anyway brings Aryan back on strike. That might give him some scope. Oh, well left. He was expecting that to be a wide ball, Aryan. Exceptional line that is. A little bit of confusing line as well for Aryan. Tremendous performance this is turning out to be. He scored the first boundary of the innings, that short arm jab, and now the scoreboard is in 75. He scored the most recent sixer as well. That shows the kind of confidence that he had. That shows the kind of responsibility that he takes for his team. A young and energetic cricketer. Might continue out to perform in many big stages. The more you perform in big stages, the more you perform in crucial games, will earn you names in the cricketing fraternity. Swing and a miss. Couldn't get the connection that he's looking for. This is really good that Sivaram is trying to fight. At least in the death overs where he could get some wickets or he could stop the batters from scoring runs on the board. Any one of this could be a huge change in this game. Tossed up delivery this time as it eventually earns the boundary. MD Aryan moves to 79, his highest individual score in this tournament so far. This was pretty unexpected that an attempted Yorker went on to be full toss to the hip line. That's more like an invitation, hit me over for a boundary. That's taken for granted from MD Aryan. 2 is the call, as they've been satisfied with a single as well. We'll try to bat in the next over, the final over, where MD Aryan will be trying to focus much on scoring runs on the board. There is still a possibility of a century, but what's most important is to make sure that they're scoring 200 to win this final. This is already more than past score. This is already a winning total, but Showstoppers have showed a wonderful batting track record so far in this tournament. They have solid batters, so you can never come for the conclusion after watching the first innings. You gotta watch how Showstopper batters are going to bat today. That's when it will be decided whether this is going to be a comfortable victory for Royal CC or is it going to be a high target chase from Showstoppers. Definite T20 dramas waiting in the next innings as well. Strong shouts couldn't convince the on-field umpire. As anyway, he'll be keeping the strike back for the next over as well. That's 181 for 3 after 19. Now on to the last over with Naveen Kumar with his nailing Yorkers. He's one of those key batters to watch out for in the next innings for Showstoppers. He have ability to bat well under pressure. He have ability to go for big shots. There have been plenty of other batters to watch out for from Showstoppers, but they must show their ability. The unbeaten side, the tag of an unbeaten side, for which they'll be fighting for. That is lovely from Naveen Kumar. One after the other, he's aiming those Yorkers by having the deep square leg in position, which ensures him not conceding or leaking any runs at the square leg or fine leg region. This was where when Surendra tried to play parallel sweeps, the bowlers got confused on what needs to be done. Not sure whether Aryan is having such cheeky shots on his book. 4 more balls left. He's 81 of 55. 17 needed for 200. Good shot that is. Long on, chases down. Good stop from the fielder. Will be just a single. Excellent throw that is as well, in fact. 3 balls, 3 runs from Naveen Kumar, ensuring that they're not scoring 200. Still there is a possibility of a 200 if you hit 3 sixes, a 2-6 and a boundary as well. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection. Now it's mathematically gone unless or until some extra supports the numbers. They can never score 200 or set the 200 target. Exceptional last over from Naveen Kumar. Somewhere in the middle, trying to stop the batters from scoring runs on the board. Oh, beautiful shot that is. He was actually searching the ball somewhere. The aim was different, but eventually got the result he was looking for. Madan Shaktivel, his wrist work is really impressive to watch out for. Moved a little bit across outside the off stump. Seems he was trying to find the aerial route. That's why he's watching in the air, but the ball was traveling on the ground. Well, that's how MD Aryan completes this innings. He's 82 of 56 runs. Came in as an opener, stood for the side, and played a tremendous knock. No chance of a single. Or seems that's been given out, it seems. That's why the innings gets to the climax as well. 188. There you could see. Clean out over there. 188 for 4 is the end total at the end of 20 overs, which sets the target of 189, where Royal CC won the toss, decided to bat first, ensured that they post a wonderful total at the end of 20 overs. That is more than an expected total, could be an winning total as well on the finals. Kudos to MD Aryan for his effort of 82 runs. Lost his wicket on the last ball, has run out 5 sixers, 5 boundaries, 56 balls with a strike rate of 146. Along with Surendra, they both pulled on a partnership of 143 together. 69 runs from Surendra, and rest of the batters contributing with extras 21 have also helped the batters to make sure that they score 188 for 4 at the end of 20 overs. With the ball, Sivaram Ramkumar 4 overs 33 for 0. Naveen Kumar picked up 2 wickets, bowled really well in the death overs. Vikram Raj 4 overs 33 for 1. Rest of the bowlers contributed to their best. Now it's 189 is the target required for showstoppers. They have never chased a target more than 115 in this tournament, but this time it's mammoth target, as a batting second side will be a sure shot pressure. Let's wait and watch what's going to happen on the second innings. Straight into the second innings, 199 required to keep their heads up here. Showstoppers. The unbeaten side, can they continue to be an unbeaten side by winning this trophy? 189 required. There have been a spectacular show set by Royal CC batters. Now their bowlers have to carry on with the same momentum. Their batters gave them enough space to defend. 189. Even though if the opposition is a tough side, this can give a lot of advantage for the bowling unit to bowl freshly. A lot of space to express themselves for the bowlers. But whereas for the batters, Showstoppers needs to do some serious stuff. They need some good partnerships, boundaries and sixers in a regular interval of time. As Kishore came in as an opener along with Prasanna, there'll be huge expectation on these batters as well. For Showstoppers, Prabhakaran have been phenomenal with his batting. He had scored 86 runs when they met Royal CC in the league phase. Will be expected to perform at the same standards. Prabhakaran and Aditya have been a consistent good performer for them. Along with the Prasanna, 3 innings, 79 runs, averaging 26. We didn't saw Kishore opening the innings much in this tournament. Just 2 innings, 24 runs. Didn't have much average, but he's having the ability to go for big shots. A fearless approach. Maybe that would be the reason on bringing Kishore as an opener. There is no time to set here, as everything is ready. Jana is with the ball. 6 innings, 8 wickets so far from Jana. Starts off with a dot ball. Straight away, good line and length from Jana to push the batters under pressure. It can take some time in the middle. This doesn't mean every ball you watch you have to score, go for boundary, go for sixer, at least go for single. It's not about that. You can go for dot balls, you can leave the ball. It's all about the way how you plan that innings. It's all about the mix of everything. If you face one tough ball, by being defensive, you could eventually get a gifted full toss delivery back. But if you try challenging a good delivery, you might lose your wicket. You might not be enjoying the full toss that's going to come next. It's always about staying in the crease, waiting for the loose balls to punish. Even though the target is high, that must be the idea for them. Jana have been one among the pick of the bowlers. Along with that, Richard. Oh, that's another good delivery. Richard have also been quite good for them. He's the leading wicket taker for Royal CC and second leading wicket taker in the tournament, sharing the spot with Sivaram Ramkumar of Showstoppers. While the one who's leading the table is Sarath from Kingsman Cricket Club. 12 wickets for him. If Richard gets a wicket today, he'll be sharing the first spot with Sarath. Gets off the mark with that single finally, Kishore. First runs on the bat and accounts are open for Showstoppers as well. I've clearly seen the sign of desperation from Prasanna. He clearly wanted singles. He wanted to rotate the strike one after the other. Mid on inside the circle, mid wicket inside the circle for him. That is a sweeper cover. And long off in position, it seems. Slight a bit of movement out there. Missing down the leg anyway. This is a tremendous first over. This is what been missing for Showstoppers. They bowled 2 good deliveries and 2 wides, which compensated those good deliveries. Maybe extras were something that didn't let the bowlers to settle themselves well in the initial phase of the innings as well. Good try from the fielder as he's containing the batters from scoring runs on the board. Gets off the mark with those 2 runs, Prashant as well. 3 for no loss after 1. Aragudayan, the new bowler. Wicket keepers came closer to the stumps. Onto the back foot. Couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. Seems like Kishore was not ready for those singles while Prasanna is aiming to go for singles. That's why things get out of their control as well. Long on in position. Nothing much is going to be impacted, but I love the way with the wicketkeeper coming closer to the stumps. That didn't happen with fast bowlers when showstoppers are bowling, because what happens is when you have high target pressure, you'll try to express yourself, stepping out, moving across. There'll be a lot more foot movements required now. When you have a wicketkeeper closer to the stumps, it's like blocking the batter from expressing himself. Through the covers, Prasanna gets the first boundary of the innings. A juicy cover drive to begin things off on explosions. Look at that shot. The timing said it all. It met the middle of the blade. And no chance for any fielder to stop that, even to get closer to the ball as well. A cheeky one to get things done as well. Rotating the strike. Not getting carried away. Many batters today I've seen after scoring a boundary, this naturally happens. When you score a boundary, you get overconfidence, you feel like you can also do the same in the next ball. But many batters are having the discipline and temperament, coming down to the second gear after the fourth gear. Through the covers, this time from Kishore. As it goes for boundary, the explosion started here from showstoppers. They're actually starting the show now. Not the easy one to attack, to be very honest. You can never blame Alagudian for such shots that Kishore have eventually made it look like an loose delivery. So far entrance coming off this over. And softly going on to the second gear. As there were a bit of speed breakers. 2 gets completed, 14 for no loss. Continues to bowl Jana. Oh, lucky one there. Inside edge as it rolls down. And eventually goes over the boundary ropes as well. Lucky boundary here for Kishore. I think these were pretty much important for any side while going for a big chase. You need some luck to favor you. Some dropped opportunities that happened in the first innings as well. Imagine if this hits the stump. Sometimes if you don't have such luck, it'll happen. The scoreboard is moving organically as both the batters were trying to take some advantage of the bowlers in the first couple of deliveries so that the over eventually turns out to be expensive. That's a wonderful length as the batters were trying to go for slog sweeps. When you don't have mid-wicket and long on in position at the deep, it's better not to bowl that fuller length delivery which Kishore is looking for. But his batting position seems to be quite impressive. He's getting under the ball to find the aerial route. Miscommunication, no chance of going for single. Good stop from the fielder. with mid-off and mid-on inside the circle. Well, having sweeper cover and third man in position, the bowler will never get the freedom of bowling or license of bowling onto the stump lines. Entire leg side is protected with just 3 fielders. Oh, that's a misfield. This is very unfortunate. A little bit of movement from the batters. The fielder got overexcited. A little more conscious to not let the batters to get that single. Look at that, as it eventually turns out to be a boundary as well. Lucky boundaries coming in for showstoppers. One came through inside edge and the other came as a misfield. Somewhere the scoreboard is moving, setting a good tone for an entertainment. A proper last over chase for a big total. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he is looking for, Kishore. But the intention seems to be pretty clear. Aiming for the mid-wicket where the fielders are not standing at the deep. Only a short mid-wicket fielder and mid-on in position. Nobody at the deep on the leg side. That's something triggers Kishore to go for big shots. Another good stop from the fielder. Will be just a single to end the over. That's 23 for no loss. $23 for no loss. 166 required of 1 or 2 deliveries. 17 overs, 166 required. Almost 10 runs an over could eventually take them closer to the target. It's always important to take the game deep, which most of the biggest cricket chasings have showed us. Either it may be Virat Kohli, either it may be Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Especially with the case of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, we've seen plenty of games that didn't have mathematical possibilities. There were mathematical possibilities, but logically that seems to be impossible. It may require some 7 overs, 75 or 80 runs with only 3 wickets in hand with one bowler at the other end. Somehow Mahendra Singh Dhoni manages to get the game deeper till the 20th over. Until then nothing gets collapsed. Beautiful shot, that most like trace of bullet, as of Ravi Shastri's words. The moment he hit the ball, everyone knows it's going to go for the boundary. Long off fielder had no chance to get closer to that. This frame says it all. Long off is waiting, hits the ball, and it travels almost like a bullet. Rishabh Sharma, the new bowler, and that's a warm welcome to the new bowler as well. Well, speaking about the ability to build an innings, this over requires a boundary. This over requires a sixer. What's most important, this is something, a framework where you get the boundary every single over like this. You need not to try scoring this over's boundary to lose your wicket. It's always important for the batter to stay long, take the game deeper to the 20th over, somehow manage to get it done. In the 20th over, that's clean ball. A change of pace from Rishabh Sharma works well here. Heavy backlift, over-excited stroke making. That ends the innings here for Kishore. I think this was pretty clear. He didn't expect that to be a slower one, and he tried to overhit the ball, which ended up to be him losing his wicket. Wonderful delivery from Rishabh Sharma. That's 27 for 1. Kishore walks back to the pavilion. Prabhakaran, the new batter, comes in at number 3. Will be expected to perform in high standards as he's been one among the top performers against the same team in the league phase. Prabhakaran have scored 86 runs when they faced Royal CC in the league phase. He's been one among the top performers with about 86 runs of 55 balls with 11 boundaries and 3 sixes. Aditya and Shivaram have also batted well in that game. The team will surely expect the similar kind of innings from him, Prabhakaran. That's why I mentioned, you need not to try for that 1 overs boundary. Of course it's mandatory, but that doesn't cost your wicket. It's not equal to your wicket. The more you stay in the crease, imagine if it's 2 overs 25 required, you might pull things off at that situation. So you should stay in the crease until you reach that situation. You drive the game deeper. That's the only formula that showstoppers should follow if they aim to win this game. Gets off the mark with those 2 runs. Prabhakaran, that's 30 runs already with 1 more to go. Smart and sensible approach. Unsettling the bowlers matters a lot. Continuous rotation of strikes, picking up the gaps and scoring boundaries will eventually unsettle the bowler. Then they'll bowl poorer deliveries. Another slower approach. Similar kind of one which happened to Kishore as well, but Prabhakaran was a little bit conscious on what he's doing. Exceptional performance from Rishabh Sharma. That's 30 for 1. C.R. Suresh, the new bowler, into the attack. It's having some pace. Meanwhile, the wicketkeeper standing closer to the stumps. The more the wicketkeeper standing closer to the stumps, there have always been a continuous pressure for some batters. This is more about the mindset. When certain field positioning or certain things done on the field, the batters will feel uncomfortable. They can never play their natural game. For some batters, in the initial phase of his career, Rohit Sharma, we've seen him, when there is a mid-wicket inside the circle, he'll try to rotate the strike between the mid-wicket fielder and the bowler to the long-on region. And if it continues out there, he sometimes loses his wicket. It's more like that particular field position sometimes disturbs the freedom of the batter. Oh, this is wonderful stuff. One after the other, dot ball after dot ball. Trying to push the batters under pressure. C.R. Suresh. Another one. Exceptional bowling, that is. Front or back confusion. You can never come forward and you can never go behind. And that's been exceptional work behind the stumps from Surendran. Never got a chance to go for single. Dot ball after dot ball. C.R. Suresh is setting things up perfectly, having that shot third man, backward point and point in position, where most of the times the batters will be trying to score runs, and whereas he's bowling a bit of good length which lets the batters to cut the ball, They are not comfortably coming on the front foot. This is actually spiking up the pressure for Prashant. I'm sorry, Prasanna. Catches the call as he beats up the fielder. There is a fielder in position, and that is a misfield. Eventually went for the boundary. This have been regular story so far from Royal CC. Showstoppers are anyway getting boundaries through misfields, inside edges, all around the ground. Good shot selection, but there was a man anyway. That should be stopped at this level of cricket. They were actually holding on good control, Royal CC. They shouldn't let the batters to come out of that pressure that easily. This is where the wicket starts falling. I clearly see the difference in bowling approach from Showstoppers and Royal CCs. In particularly today's game, there have been change of pace, mind games. Too many idea deliveries are being done so far from Royal CC bowlers. Whereas with Showstoppers, I saw there have been a bit of dryness on approach. They shuffled the bowlers, but didn't have much change with the idea of bowling. It continued on with the same flow. Good stop from the fielder this time. But on the other day, Showstoppers would have done it really well. This is all about the particular day's pressure. When you don't get the first breakthrough, you sometimes running out of your options, running out of your ideas. That's what something had put him under pressure. 5 gets completed, it's 37 for 1. Continues to bowl Rishabh Sharma. Pulls it away. Got the placement right as it seems. Gets the boundary, Prabhakaran. First boundary for him. There'll be a lot more required like this. Especially some batters like him with high potential to play longer innings. Beautiful shot that is played on top of it where no man is standing at the deep. Trying to slice it behind. The fine leg as well will be just a single. That's catches the call. And that is taken. That's a breakthrough is here. As Prasanna is trying to find the aerial route. And that eventually turned out to be a wicket. This is what the big match pressure when you chase a big target. Sometimes the batters have to play something out of their comfort zone. Complete cross-batted shot from Prasanna. One more time, change of pace works here for Rishabh Sharma. Gets his second wicket. 42 for 2. Naveen Kumar, the new batter, comes in at number 4. Complete potential batter to play big shots. He's having a track record, ability to go for big shots. Did well with the ball as well. Change of pace again, slower delivery. I think this is what they must be very careful. Rishabh Sharma is also having 2 more overs to bowl. If he continues up to go with the same flow, he might definitely feel the pressure. The fielding standards have been quite impressive despite of the few misfields that went for boundary. One at the third man and the other at the mid-off. The rest of the fielding attempts have been quite impressive. They have saved a couple of boundaries already. They have saved a couple of singles already. Every time when a batter punches to the point direction, he'll be expecting a boundary or a single. But that one good fielding is actually saving the entire flow of the batter's mindset. Couple of runs on the board as well. Showstoppers were still showing some sign of improvement, but yeah, one needs to take care of that responsibility as well. 45 for 2, end of power play. C.R. Suresh continues out to bowl. Now the fielders have been expanded to the boundary ropes. D point in position. Sweeper cover long off 3 fielders outside the circle on the offside. And that is long on and deep mid wicket as well. This is more like not letting the batters to cut the ball for boundary. That's why D point fielder as well as a cover point fielder and a sweeper cover, extra covers. Overall 6 fielders on the offside, 3 fielders on the leg side, with outside the ring 3 on the offside, 2 on the leg side. There you could see the clear dominance on the offside field positioning, not letting the batters to score much runs through that region. Because that turns out to be quite good under control. Seems it had the feather of the bat, or it hit somewhere else, we're not sure, but anyway the wicketkeeper couldn't grab that catch, or so and so. Couple of dot balls here from CR Suresh as well. Both of the bowlers are bowling a lot of slower ones, which doesn't let the batters to expect the same ball that they saw the previous one. Good shot this time. More like a Nadraja shot at the deep skyleg region where nobody's standing at the boundary ropes. Easy pickings for Prabhakar and choosing the right balls to score the boundary. Especially with this one. The previous one was slower on, so he was almost expecting this to be a quicker one. Not much bouncy delivery. Prabhakaran somehow managed to play it to the skyleg region. Much better this time. Much better that is. That's where the bowling ability of Royal CC have been quite impressive. They have too many options in their armory. And I'll never be surprised if this one comes out to be a slower one. The slower one, boundary, and another quicker delivery outside the off stump. This might be a slower one for the change of approach. Not so that he couldn't read the bowler's mind clearly. 7 gets completed, 50 for 2 that is. $50 for 2 it is. Time for some revolution. Spinners coming onto the game. Richard, the new bowler, into the attack, replacing Rishabh Sharma. Saving 2 overs for Rishabh Sharma in the bank is a good option, that this game might go deep, or this game might show a transition at any point of time. That's when they could use bowlers like Rishabh Sharma with such a variety of options. That can be a huge resource for them. And now with spinners, they could also try with spinners, the finger spinners. That's what they're doing now with Richard. This sometimes triggers the batters to find the aerial route where you might get the wicket of the batter as well. The only aim for them is to grab the wickets. There is always a pressure for the chasing side. They may make mistake even if you bowl a couple of dot balls. And that's why chasing have always been considered to be an art. That's why Virat Kohli was considered to be one of the greatest. That's why Mahendra Singh Dhoni was considered to be one of the greatest. Batters like them have known for planning the innings. There is a point of climax, that's the 20th over, but you cannot play by keeping the 20th over in your mind. What needs to be done by now that could contribute to the 20th over? That should be planned precisely. Taking things emotionally won't work at this point of time. Oh, this much needs to be scored. I'll go for the big shot. That doesn't have a clarity. This much needs to be scored. At this rate, these are the bowlers we have. This will be the right kind of approach with the way how they shuffle their bowlers. Catches the call. And that is taken. Excellent catch taken from the man who scored 80 odd in the first innings. An intent to go for the big shot. Didn't went well for Prabhakar, and spinner came in and straight away brought in the breakthrough that they're looking for. MD Aryan was the catcher. Wonderful catch that is. 53 for 3. Aditya, the new batter, comes in at number 5 as the middle order starts getting collapsed in the middle overs, where you'll always have this double main confusion where you have to keep calm and composed batting in the middle overs, or you have to go for the big shots. You need to rush things moving forward. A wonderful over coming from Richard. Just 3 runs coming off it and a wicket as well. 8 gets completed, 53 for 3. Irekudayan back into the attack. Catches the call. And that's a good try from the fielder. Anyway, goes for a maximum. Naveen Kumar has started his brand of cricket. He is well known for such attacking cricket. Not an easy length to play such shots. Irekudayan bowled a short ball way outside the off stump. That's pulled in front of square. That's the beauty of such shots. Oh, much better one. Juicy one to go for single. Didn't got carried away with that boundary he got. Wonderful use of the footwork. One sixer and a couple of singles that could eventually be helping the innings to move forward. The required run rate is still in good control, where they could eventually handle things well. A 127 required of 68 balls to win the game. Tremendous batting display. This is where you make the bowlers to get frustrated. After that sixer, they'll try to bowl at least one dot ball to make sure they give a good comeback or to bring their confidence back. But when you start rotating the strike confidently, the bowlers will get frustrated. The batters were not thinking as if I'm expecting. Will be keeping the strike back for the next over as well, Naveen Kumar. That's 64 for 3 after 9. Continues to bowl Richard, a slow finger spinner, tempting sometimes, confuses the batters to do some mistakes. Really bowling well Richard today. Not onto the zones of where the batters were expecting. This is where the batters will fall for the traps. They'll become the prey of the trap made by the bowler. Strong shouts! Bat says the on-field umpire. It's not comfortable to play against such spinners. Even if the choice of length was quite good from Richard, it's not something that invites the batters to go for big shots, but it always tempts the batters to take the risk of going for big shots. That's why he's taking this game to be in a crucial space. Things were quite good under control. I think any of these batters should try taking the spinner. You can never let any bowler to settle that comfortably. One more went out of their control. A little bit of trigger movements, little bit of changes in the stance might confuse the bowlers. They may change their line out length. If that happens, got the connection better, and the timing seems to be perfect as well, as it goes for a maximum. Maximum sixer signals the on-field umpire. This time Aditya gets his first sixer today. In fact, he's actually setting the tone for that region, moving across and letting the ball to land in front of him. This is how you must target particular bowlers. You need not to go with a hurry-burry pace, but at the same time you need not to settle any of the bowlers. There are still more possibilities. Showstoppers are still in the game. 10.86 the required run rate. Sixer followed by a couple of singles. This is tremendous approach. The past couple of overs have been quite impressive with showstoppers. There's already 11 in this over. In fact, 12 in this over. Strong shouts was not given by the on-field umpire. Good work behind the stumps from the wicketkeeper. Just threatens the batter. If he moves his feet away a little forward, the wicketkeeper will lift the bails out from the stumps. I think the shot selection region matters. If you try to aim for long on or over the bowler's head, Richard would be a tough bowler to face. If you aim for slog sweeps at deep square leg or deep mid wicket, the more you stretch yourself down, you could eventually play well against bowlers like Richard. That's what done by Aditya. Created the room to play it at the square leg region. Sweep shot this time. There is a man in deep, chases down, but his soccer skills doesn't save the boundary. As it goes past the boundary ropes, 4 to end the over. That's 80 for 3 after 10.
80 for 3.
This was that shot. That's what we've been mentioning about sweep shots were doing really well against Richard. 80 for 3. Change in bowling. Shabir into the attack. Just missing down. Still the wicketkeeper standing closer to the stumps. That's actually adding up a lot more fuel to this innings. 10.90 the required run rate. The game is still into the hands of these two batters. If anyone continues to play throughout the next 10 overs, there is a lot more drama to be watched out for. An easy one. An easy pickings for the batter as well. These were more like an invitation. Come on, hit me over for a boundary. And thank you so much, says Aditya. 31 runs partnership between these two batters. But this line itself is more like inviting the batters to play such shots. You must have had a fine leg inside the circle to make sure you're bowling such lines. Positive start again. When you look at the pattern of batting for the past couple of overs from showstoppers, they begin every over with a boundary. Not straight away with the first ball. Maybe sometimes with the first ball, sometimes with the second ball. Before the third ball gets completed, there is a boundary on the scorecard. I think that's something actually moving this game ahead that we've seen in this over. Lucky one here as there is a man in deep as well. Could clearly see that happening around. One more time, similar kind of delivery with fine leg in place. The approach was slightly a bit different, but anyway they get runs on the board. It's already 7 runs out there. On every over there have been this comprehensive performance with this partnership between Aditya and Naveen Kumar. This is in the 9th over, starting off with a sixer. On the 10th over, the third ball went for a sixer. On this 11th over, we saw the second ball went for boundary. I think this is going to be the approach right from here. Every over will begin with a boundary in the first 3 balls. Any of the first 3 balls, in fact. Slicing behind will be quite good under control. Just a single. As things were quite good under control. 88 for 3 showstoppers. That's high in the air, catches the call, fielder under the ball as well. And that's put down. Must have been taken. And he was a good fielder as well. Grabbed a wonderful catch at the same position, but this time it went out of his control. MD Aryan, the fielder. This was more like a collapsed bat swing. Did everything perfectly, but unfortunately drops. 11 gets completed. It's 89 for 3. Rishabh Sharma back into the attack. This was more or less expected one at this point of time when things go out of the control. That's why they had this bowler in the banking with 2 overs. He been the pick of the bowler so far, picked up the first 2 wickets with those slower ones that completely left the batters bamboozled with what happens. Another one went on to be the slower runs back to back. That confuses the batters, but both the batters must be aware that this bowler bowls slower ones. They must be playing some slow and conscious batting against such key bowlers so that they could attack the rest of the bowlers as well. Goes over the bowler's head. This time pick the slow run perfectly and dispatches it over the long on fielder. Tremendous stroke making that is from Naveen Kumar. Didn't overhit the ball, just times the ball, guides it straight. Look at that shot. A simple stroke making, and that finish says it all, that he made it at the middle of the blade. One more time, a boundary in the first 3 balls of an over. Somehow they managed to get any one of those balls go for boundary. Another one in the air. And one more sixer, this time even much better with distance. Back-to-back maximums. As Naveen Kumar is attacking the key bowler of Royal CC and making a huge statement that this game is still on. Much better one. The body language of long on fielder says it all. "33 of 17 balls. As this eventually gets 15 runs, a surprising stuff against someone like Rishabh Sharma. Could have never expected this would happen with Rishabh Sharma, as he was a tremendous performer so far. Will be keeping the strike back. 105 for 3 it is after 12. "105 for 3. Swinging and missing at the connection that he is looking for. Jana back into the attack, bringing down the mainstream bowlers to stop the pace of this game. If this partnership gets broken, if the set batters lost their way in the middle, there is no other option for Royal CC to come back in this game. That doesn't mean they're out of the game. They are still in the driver's seat. 84 runs in 8 overs. Might be a little bit challenging, but the way through showstoppers were travelling was quite interesting. They might get the driver's seat soon. To stop that happening, they must break the partnership. They must dismiss the set batters, especially the man on screen with the green t-shirt, Naveen Kumar, surprisingly playing a quick fire knock that unsettles every bowler out there. So far, the intent was pretty good that they're trying to take the game deep one after the other. Not any desperate approach for a single over finish. They must give the same kind of impact throughout the 20th over. Good shot down the ground. Fielders converging together. And good stop from the fielder will be just a single. Saves 3 runs for his side. All these numbers, those misfields, those good fielding, saving 3 runs, everything is going to be calculated. Everything is going to make this game more intense and get it closer to the winning margin for both the sides. A lucky one that is. Thickish outside edge. Beats a short third man and goes for boundary. Naveen Kumar gets another one. Every inside edge and outside edge have been safe end for the batters. They got good result for those edges. This is one among them. But this time, he also opened the pace of the bat. That gives credits to Naveen Kumar as well. With a strike rate of 200, Naveen Kumar looks out to be promising that showstoppers can make it happen. And can retain the tag of being an unbeaten side in the tournament. Catches the call. There's nobody standing in the deep to stop that. Going for boundary. Back-to-back boundaries here from Naveen Kumar, which moves him on to the 40s as well. Don't forget, he did well with the ball as well. Bowled the last over. Stopped the batters from reaching out the 200. Now he's doing exceptional job with the bat. 42 of 20 balls. And then there is Aditya as well, who's also doing really good in this partnership. Both of them joining hands together, putting the opposition under pressure. 12 runs already. Pulls it away. That's high in the air. And nobody standing at the deep to grab that catch. Even that is not a catch opportunity as well. Goes for a maximum. And that turns out to be 18 runs over from Jana. 123 for 3 after 13 overs. This was that final shot we've been speaking about. Look at the way how he rotated his body. Proper way of pulling the ball. It's not just with hands. It's about the way you roll up your body to pull the ball. All the key bowlers were getting punished here. 13 gets completed, 123 for 3. Now the game looks pretty simple. The driver's seat is for showstoppers now. 7 overs, 60 odd to win the game, 66 to win the game. Quite gettable with 2 set batters and rest of the batters sitting in the dugout. Just 3 wickets they lost so far. And the most crucial thing is all the bowlers they attacked were set bowlers and the mainstream bowlers. Misfield, as it might get couple of runs on the board, goes for boundary. This time it's time for Aditya to show his worth. Shouts and energy from showstoppers. It's been bowled way outside the off stump. We just let the ball to come and play it as late as possible. Sliced it. Should have been stopped anyway. The momentum is turning towards showstoppers. And so the positivity as well. Sometimes this aura actually unsettles the bowlers. They start doing mistakes. There was a point when this target seems to be pretty tough to chase. When they lost quick 3 wickets in terms of chasing down this target, there were expectations that showstoppers might not get closer to the target. As the number was too heavy, they must plan this innings. But they had planned this innings really well to get closer to the winning target. Naveen Kumar and Aditya have built a tremendous partnership together. Another good shot. Slaps the ball through the covers for boundary. Naveen Kumar. I'm not sure whether this could be called as a misfield or not. The quickness the ball had, even the reaction time for the covers fielder was very, very less. This was that shot we've been speaking about. The moment he hit the ball, it travels, beats the covers fielder, goes for boundary. That brings 50 up here for Naveen Kumar as well. 52 of 22 balls with a strike rate of 236. 4 big sixes on his name and a lot more to come on his way. 79 runs partnership between these two batters. Change of pace. Beautiful shot that is. Goes over the bowler's head. The arc that he made. Scaled up the numbers. Goes for maximum. But these are spectacular stroke makings. That went like a straight line over the bowler's head. Look at that. Blissful stroke making that is on a special day, on a big final. Naveen Kumar's experience is coming into play. "85 runs partnership." The beauty about those 6 hittings is that he never tried to overhit the ball. It just goes with the flow, the flexibility that he's having on his game. His body is supporting his cricket. That's really a blessing for him. Naveen Kumar, with all his experience and having a fitness to do it, the execution skill helps him to do in such level. There is still a lot needs to be done. The game is into the hands of showstoppers, but that doesn't mean they can relax. Until they finish things off, they can never get relaxed. Royal CC might try to get into the game at any point of time. Pulls it away between the two fielders as long on fielder gets closer to the ball, only to see that going for boundary. This is really good brand of cricket. Timing the ball, placing it to perfection, finding gaps to score runs on the board. Especially with this one, onto the back foot by rolling up his body, he pulled it to the mid-wicket region for boundary. That's tremendous stroke making. This was the shot we've been speaking about. Even that had a bit of movement away. He played it grounded. That's most beautiful thing. 14 gets completed, 143 for 3 as Naveen Kumar keeps a strike back. Partnership 90 of 37. In just 6.1 overs, they have scored 90 runs together. It was 53 for 3 in 7.5 overs. Now look at the way how the game entirely changed once this partnership came into picture. In fact, when you look at the batting scorecard, not even a single batter failed without scoring at least 2 boundaries. Kishore scored a couple of boundaries, 4 boundaries for his name. Prasanna scored 2 boundaries. Prabhakaran scored 2 boundaries. Aditya scored 2 boundaries, 1 sixer, and he's still in the crease. Naveen Kumar 63 runs with 5 boundaries, 5 sixes. So it's been a complete contribution from all the batters. All of them have played their part to a certain extent. Back into the attack, C.R. Suresh. He's been a tricky bowler so far. That's what we thought with Jana. That's what we thought with Richard Sharma. But those bowlers were being punished by Naveen Kumar. C.R. Suresh will be the final hope for them for Royal CC. Must be very careful while lifting up the back foot. That's what C.R. Suresh is aiming for. Oh, that's most expected. As he bowled at the same line one after the other, this time it got the connection and goes for the boundary as well. CR Suresh must have worked on his line. It was exactly the same ball he bowled in the previous delivery as well. And that's where Aditya got himself into the position a little early that this might also be coming onto the body line or for the leg wide. 6 runs so far in this innings with fine leg in position now. May expect CR Suresh to bowl similar kind of balls again. But the more you bowl such line, the more dangerous things could get. That's 150 up here for showstoppers. In just no time they made it possible. With 97 runs of partnership, exceptional performance from the team. That is the reason behind their performance so far in this tournament. That is the reason behind why they are unbeaten side of the tournament. And that can be retained if they score 39 of 32. Keeping calm and composed on what needs to be done. Just 8 runs coming off this over from CR Suresh. Not much bad over for the bowler. But on the whole, things were under control. 7.35 is the required run rate here. Will be given a leg wide and single as well. Even a small loophole happens. Naveen Kumar finds to get runs on the board. Good call from Naveen Kumar to get that single as well. 10 runs so far coming off this over. That's 100+ partnership in just 7 overs between Aditya and Naveen Kumar. The team was 53 for 3 at one point of time in 7.5 overs. The last 7 overs have been game changing. Single to end the over. That's 154 for 3. Richard back into the attack. Did well with the first over, but eventually the batters got the loophole of playing sweep shots against him. Swing and a miss. Couldn't get the control that he's looking for. Last 5 overs with just 35 runs required to win the game. 7 runs per over required. That's something out of context over that, but the shot selection against this batter must be precise. You must play square shots. The more you try to play straight against him, it didn't work much for the batters against Richard. Strong shouts. Couldn't convince the on-field umpire, but this is turning out to be quite good over. While bowling round the wicket, sometimes the ball might be pitching outside the leg stump. That's why things go out of control. Been maintaining good run rate here. Showstoppers. Strong shout. This time the fingers going up. Richard finally brings in the breakthrough and to the wicket of a set batter. Naveen Kumar, 65 of 32 deliveries. Made the impossible a possible one. Took the team to the driver's seat. And finally departing back to the dressing room. Exceptional performance that is from him. Almost did his job. Could have finished the game, but anyway, that was a wonderful innings from Naveen Kumar coming to an end. 155 for 4 it is. Akash, the new batter, comes into the crease. And at number 6, with just final couple of milestones required, there is enough petrol to ride from now. A set batter as well in the crease, Aditya. But this has been tremendous performance from Richard. Except his second over, he did really well. Batters felt a little bit uncomfortable to play against him. That's his biggest strength over there. He's not that conventional spinner where you can treat him like a regular off spinner. He's not about much turnover there. He's actually bowling a little flat outside the off stump where the batters might be expecting that to come on to them, but it's going away from them. Late cuts could be a good option, but he's bowling slower. Gets off the mark straight away, Akash. Just 2 runs coming off this over and 1 wicket as well. Trying to give a good fight back here, Royal CC. Can they be able to give an impact right from here? Single to end the over. That's 157 for 4. Last over for CR Suresh and the most crucial over of this game. If this gets done, there will be another crucial over, one after the other. But it's all gonna be decided in this over. CR Suresh, can he be able to pull something for his side in his last over? On the other hand, we are having Set Aditya. Much better one. Just trying to play calm and composed cricket at this point of time. The thing I was mentioning about in the previous over as well, they were almost near the winning margin. That does not mean they can play relaxed cricket. There is still a huge hope for Royal CC. They can come back stronger at any point of time if this partnership gets broken again, if the set batter lost his wicket again. Change of pace from CR Suresh straight away. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he's looking for. Are we watching something that's turning the game around? We're not sure, but the hope is still for both the sides. It's more like the cat and the wall. Big shot, catches the call. As fielders converging together, that is taken at the mid-wicket region. A comfortable catch taken at the deep. To stay strong in the game, V. Akash couldn't create much impact in the game. His intent to go for the big shot was not working, and CR Suresh is bringing up the breakthrough at the right point of time. That's 158 for 5. No mistakes done by the fielder. Exceptional work at the deep. Now that brings the left-handed batter Sivaram Ramkumar, the explosive option with a strike rate of 126 and at number 7. The game is slightly changing since the last over. 2 runs and 1 wicket from Richard, and now in this over we're watching just a single run and a wicket from CR Suresh. The game is changing for sure, and that's why I mentioned the moment you start feeling relaxed, the game will go out of your hands. Setting things up over there, Sivaram Ramkumar gets his first ball. An attempted Yorker straight away from CR Suresh. That is turning out to be a wonderful over and a wonderful spell as well. For a target of 181 with one bowler bowling with an economy of 6.00, that's spot on. The required run rate moves almost 10 runs per over. This is going to be an added pressure with Richard Sharma is not having Naveen Kumar on strike now. Can get back to his original form of bowling, and there is Jana who's also having an over to be bowled. And gets off the mark with that single and will be keeping the strike back for the next over as well. That's 159 for 5 after 17. Been a wonderful spell out there from CR Suresh. 1 for 24. Exceptional performance. 2 overs have changed the context of the game. As we're watching, he's coming back to bowl his final over. Richard gets the ball again. It was all on his over. 2 runs and a wicket of a crucial batter. He changed the context of the game. Now through that path, Royal CC are now travelling. Both the sides were showing phenomenal brand of cricket. It's not like one team domination. It's a really good brand of cricket. Big shot that is. As that turns out to be single, but positive approach here from Sivaram Ramkumar. I'll prefer Sivaram Ramkumar can continue having strike against Richard, as Richard is very good at bowling to the right-handers. We've seen that so far in this game. Right-handers have continuously struggled to face Richard. Though there have been a couple of boundaries and sixers, there have always been a wicked threat against Richard for right-handers. Goes over the bowler's head as a long off fielder trying to chase it down. Good try, but unfortunately that goes for the boundary anyway. A much needed boundary, something that relieves the batting unit. This was what we've been speaking about. Beautiful shot that is. But this is not the regular style of approach from Richard. Change of length impacted him on conceding a boundary. Now all expectations on Aditya. Will be given a wide as well. That's where he started impacting this bowler. The more you give trigger movement, you can have good domination against Richard. And you've already shown someone like Aditya. He was the one to first score boundary against Richard. This time gets a full toss delivery and dispatches it to the boundary ropes. A one bounce boundary. Second boundary of this over. And 2 extras as well. Pressure on the bowler for sure from Richard. This was unexpected. The trigger movement that impacted everything. 11 runs coming off this over so far. One more wide ball. That's 11 runs of 2 balls. Or just 18 runs required in 15 balls. Swings and got the connection better. 2 is the call from Aditya. They're satisfied with a single. Good fielding at the deep mid-wicket region. But slowly this is transforming out to be an expensive over. 13 runs already with 2 more to go. Sivaram Ramkumar back on strike. Swing and a miss. Couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. 2 for 35 is the number here for Richard. Did really well, but a few overs didn't well in his favour. This is one among them. Last ball of Richard today. Single to end the over. That's 2 for 36 from Richard. 18 overs completed. 173 for 5. Now 2 overs, 16 runs required to win the game with Rishabh Sharma gets the ball. Did really well with his first 2 overs. The third over went out of his control. But that's a different batter. Naveen Kumar, now the batters are completely different. His slower deliveries could still bring a change in the game. The variation of pace that he brings onto the game can create an impact. Long on, deep mid-wicket. And square leg standing a little bit front. Fine leg in position as well. Long off and sweeper cover as well. Goes over the bowler's head. Didn't get much connection. Is that eventually ends out to be just a single. That brings Aditya strike back. Catches the call. That beats a fielder comfortably. And Richard had no chance to stop that going for boundary. A much needed boundary at this point of time from Aditya. He confidently played the shot as the short third man was standing a little bit closer. Now it's almost ball a run. $11 runs required of 10 balls to win the game. Showstoppers. Swings and misses out, couldn't get the connection that he's looking for. I think this is that ball where Rishabh might be planning to bowl that slower delivery. That's taken in good control over there. Intention were to bowl at the wide Yorker line. Chance for that extra run. Sivaram Ramkumar, smart and sensible approach to get that extra run. 7 runs so far in this over. Nine runs of 8 balls to win the game. One boundary could eventually reduce all the heat of this game. Catches the call as it fell short of the fielder anyway. At 7 ball 8 runs, there is still pressure on this game. In T20 cricket, anything might happen. That's the beauty about this. Pulls it away, catches the call. And that is taken. Tremendous catch taken at the deep by the fielder. And that is dismissing one of the key batters, Sivaram Ramkumar, walking his way out to the dugout. One more time, this was more like a trap, inviting him to go for the pull shot. And didn't got much rhythm over that to grab that. Good catch taken at the deep. That's 181 for 6. Sivaram Ramkumar walks back to the pavilion. Now Vikram Raj, the new batter, with Set Aditya and the new Vikram Raj. They need 8 runs to win in the last over. Showstoppers. If it's 8 runs in the last over, it would be Showstoppers game. If they couldn't score those 8 runs, Royal CC will eventually win the game. Took their own time to come up with a decision. Jana gets the ball. Too many discussions and confusions. There have been plenty of suggestions on field positionings. What's needed, what's not needed. Finally, they come up with a solution. Aditya on strike. Jana with the first ball. Catches the call. As it fell short of the fielder anyway. Smart approach from Aryan that it was not there to be a catch. Now comes the most impactful moment where the new batter faces 7 needed of 5 balls. Vikram Raj on strike. Good shot. Got off the mark straight away. Vikram Raj. Exceptional performance that is. Bringing it back to the set batter. One boundary could close all the hopes of Royal CZ anyway. Steps out and finds the aerial route. 3 fielders converging together. And that is taken. No mistakes done by the fielder. That is turning out to be a crucial breakthrough from Jana. And under pressure, the catch was taken was exceptional. There comes the story of the set batter. Aditya, 47 runs of 30 balls, eventually completes his innings. That's really good change of length from Jana. And even with this convergence, the fielder had clear vision on where the ball comes and grabbed the catch. Shabib, the catcher. 183 for 7 it is now. 3 balls, 6 runs needed with Nebu, the new batter, comes into the crease. Nobody could have thought that this game will go this close when they saw the target of 189. Some may have thought that this would be an easy game for Royal CC. Some may have thought that Showstoppers somehow managed to win this game. But it's 19.3, still 50-50 chance. There is still hope for both the sides. One shot away here for Showstoppers. But there is a new batter on strike. Swings and got the connection. Catches the call. As that beats the fielder, goes for boundary. The new man Nebo came in and straight away gets the boundary to keep the hopes alive. But still the hopes are for both the sides. Now 2 runs required of 2 balls. But this was the shot anyway. A good length delivery outside the off stump. Somehow managed to beat the sweeper cover fielder. Two runs of 2 balls. Nebu on strike. Oh, that swings and misses out. This is really interesting to watch out for. Royal CC gave a good comeback again. Now 1 ball, 2 runs required to win. And there is a huge possibility of super overs as well. Now into the most anticipated last ball. Misses out. There comes the victory. Look at the performance. A tremendous performance that is from Royal CC. A thrilling encounter ending in favor of them winning this game by difference of 1 run. Just a run on the final of Iron Fist season number 6 to beat the unbeaten side Showstoppers. Nobody have expected that this would turn out to be a wonderful twist and turn T20 contest to watch out for in this big final. But that's how it went. They fought till the end with the efforts of Jana, with the efforts of Richard, with the efforts of Rishabh. Everyone played their part together. They never left the hope throughout this game and made sure that they are winning this game, beating an unbeaten side to become the champions of Iron Fist season number 6. And winning by 1 runs became a fashion for them. 3 times when Royal CC game ended up to be a 1 run victory in this tournament. Twice they won the game, 1 time they lost the game. But these close encounters, when it comes to close encounters, Royal CC are actually handling this pretty well, fighting till then and handling it to the work. MD Aryan will be given the player of the game. 82 runs with the bat and a wonderful catch at the long off region. But along with that, there have been comprehensive performance today with the ball. Jana, 2 wickets, 36 runs, bowled an important last over, proved that why he is one of the mainstream bowlers of the side. Aragudian tried his best. Rishabh Sharma have been exceptional. He was the one who gave that early breakthrough by dismissing Kishore, and Prabhakaran was dismissed by Richard, who took over the control as a spinner in the middle over. So every over, every bowler had some ideas. CR Suresh being the top when it comes to economy, 24 for 1. All these things puts up together, they won this game. Whereas Showstoppers No disrespect to them, they played really good cricket today. They fought till the end. They deserve to be a champions as well with that performance right from Kishore, Prasanna, Prabhakaran, Naveen Kumar 65. If he stayed in the crease, he would have finished the game earlier. Aditya's 47 till then, he did really well. Nebu's boundary at the final over, everything made sure that they're getting closer to the target, but unfortunately, those two balls from Jana have changed the game completely, making Royal CC the champions of this tournament against the team. They lost the game in the league phase by 120 plus runs. They have beaten the same team by a difference of 1 run to become the champion. That's how Iron Fist season number 6 coming to a climax. Two most deserving sides played in the finals with top quality T20 match that eventually ended up in favor of Royal CC. Congrats to Royal CC and hard luck for showstoppers as well.